Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today is a video that I have been planning to make for the entire month of September, and it's taken me the most of the month to muster up the energy to actually sit down and film this video. I've not been in the best colouring mood this last month, but I feel my colouring energy is returning to me, and I'm really looking forward to getting some more pages coloured during this last week of the month. But today I am going over how successful was my summer randomizer picks. So way back in May, at the end of May, I did a randomizer video where I randomized 30 books for the summer season, and I flagged some nice summary pages, also some other pages that weren't necessarily themed to summer, but I randomised 30 books, and out of those 30 books I coloured in 25 of them, so I'm really happy with how successful this was. I put a star next to all of the ones which were previously untouched, and there was only one of them of the untouched books that I didn't get to, and I did work in it, I just didn't finish it, but I will be sharing that with you. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm going to start the video by showing you the books that I didn't get round to colouring and why, and then some books that I've got some whip started in, and then I'll go through in order of the randomised list. So then you've got a bit of a variety rather than it just being like a recap of my monthly completed pages in order. It's more random that way. Random on random. But yeah, let me pop this to the side and we will get into the first book. So first up, I've got 50 Spellbound Woodland Scenes by Camilla Angelkova, and the reason I didn't get anything coloured in this was because I decided I'm no longer going to include Camilla books in my seasonal randomizer videos, because I've been doing lots of pages in 50 Mythical Miniatures and also Zodiac Miniatures that I don't have the time to get to these, and I'd rather pick pages in here on a prompt basis rather than I want to work in it this season basis. So didn't get anything coloured in 50 Spellbound Woodland Scenes, and I'm totally fine with that. Then I also didn't get anything coloured in Mythomorphia, and this was because instead I planned a buddy colour in Mythic World, and I did that instead. But I was happy to not colour a page in here because I had joined a group that I think every other month we're doing a page in here, and I have started it for September. This was the August-September page. I've used Neo colours. Want to do a second layer to intensify the colour a bit more, but yeah, really enjoying how this is looking. In fact, I may leave it aside to get coloured after I film this video. So I didn't get one done in Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosanes. Then I've got the Bear in the Wonderful Town by Waka Nakauchi, and I did work on a whip in here. So I had this page started, the vegetable market, and before this season I had just coloured the pumpkins and the carrots. So I did all of the vegetables, had so much fun colouring all these vegetables in, and then got a bit stuck on what colours to do for the rest of the page. I thought maybe blue to put on the sign, I thought that might be cute. But then I couldn't quite decide. Maybe brown for some of these boxes and for the ones in the background, so your eye isn't drawn to them and the colours of the vegetables really pop. But yeah, I'm happy with where I got with that page, and just didn't quite have the time to finish that one off. That's The Bear in the Wonderful Town by Waka Nakauchi. Then I've got Oceans to Stars by Lydia Fenwick, and this was an official but not official buddy colour with Amy at Amy Ward Art. And the page, we said if we do it, great, if we don't, that's fine, and we can share progress pics. But I did start Leo. I based her with markers. I used the Crayola Colours of the World for her skin and hair, and then the Tombos for the orange and green bits on the page, and did a bit of pencil shading on her skin because she was looking a little bit stripy from the markers, and I think I managed to cover it up with the pencil shading, and love that kind of warm, sun-kissed, tanned look to her skin. I think it's looking really nice, something a little bit different for me as well. And then I want to go gold for her hair to match the gold and orange colours over here. So her outfit will be orange, and then add some more kind of brighter golds in the hair. I thought I'd go for a light base so then I can build the colour on top of that. Sort of like you're seeing in the eyebrows here with the kind of golden colour. So yeah, I'm happy with how this is turning out. I just, again, ran out of time to be able to finish it, but that's okay. It'd be nice to get another one done. I loved how Aries turned out. That's such a beautiful book, Oceans to Stars by Lydia Fenwick. And then the final one I didn't get a page finished in was Seasons. This was planned as a buddy colour with Bama Beams on Instagram, and we were meant to do the Bright Summer Nights page, and I kept opening this book and looking at this page and going, right, let's colour it, and then I just got completely stumped on how I wanted to approach it. So I asked if it would be alright to do a different page in the book. We do it just as a book colour and book buddy colour, and she said that's fine. So I started work on this page because I'd had the background done for ages and I really wanted to see it finished. I've managed to get her skin coloured, some gold accents for the jewellery here, and on this kind of butterfly wing piece attached to her hair, and then got distracted and didn't continue with it. And I do still want to finish this, and I'm so sorry to my buddy colour how slow I've been with this, but yeah, just colouring inspiration hasn't been on my side recently, but I do like how she's turning out. Picking colours to match this side of the page. I know I used Arteza Expert, so I don't know exactly what colours I picked out though, so I tried my best to replicate the gold I did and the pink tones as well. But I think I'll do a combination of a darker pink for the flowers and a lighter pink, just to change things up a little bit. Not sure what colour I'm going to do her hair, whether I want to do it brown, a nice golden blonde, not sure. And then pink for her outfit as well. Keep it nice and limited. That is Seasons by Hannah Carlson. Then moving on to all of the books that I did complete a page in, and I think, to my knowledge, I only did one in each of them, unless it was a double page spread. But first up, I've got A Million Sweet Things by Lulu Mayo, and this was a buddy colour with Nikki at Knick Knack Colours. And we did this one, the really fun kawaii suitcase page. Love how it turned out. I used a limited colour palette. I believe this was a Colour Cube palette that I used there, and I might have added in the orange. Yeah, I think it was that. The yellow, green, blue, pink and red. Or maybe even it didn't have the red. Maybe it was just that. But yeah, really enjoyed this. I plotted out the colours on Procreate using my iPad, so I had a good idea of where I wanted the colour placement to be, so it looked nice and cohesive, and I think I did achieve that look. Really like how it turned out, and I've got my colours saved for this page when I eventually get to it. But that was a lovely page to get done in A Million Sweet Things by Lulu Mayo. Then I have Boule de Pois by Diane Dufour, and this is one of those pages, I think it was one of the first I did from this autumn randomizer, and I was kind of forgot that I did it. Where is it? Oh, summer section's at the back, isn't it? That's the one I'd already done. Here it is. I did this barbecue page. I called it the hot dog thief, with the dog stealing the hot dogs off the barbecue and the cat stealing the fish. I just thought it was so cute. I used polychromos for this page and really loved the smooth colour of the background and all the shading. I put in some fun grass texture. Yeah, it'd been a while since I last coloured in this, so it was great to have another page done. And I love the bright, bold colours of it. Used a bit of the black glaze pen on the details on the barbecue, so they're nice and shiny. Yeah, really happy with that, how that turned out. That is Boule de Pois by Diane Dufour. And this was one of the last pages I did. This was one I did in August, and it was in Die Welt under der Lupe Zulande by Rita Berman, which has now been republished as an English edition as Hidden Earth, and I followed a colour along in this book by Karen at My Colourful Country Life, and this was the page I did. Very bright and colourful. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I used Prismacolors for the whole page, which for me is quite unusual to use Prismacolors for just a pencil page. Usually I use them on top of alcohol markers. But as I was following her colour palettes and combinations, I decided to go for the Prismacolors. I especially love how this flower turned out. I loved building up all the colours with the petals. It did take an insanely long time. I hated colouring the background, this kind of bokeh effect with just pencils. It reminds me how I just hate doing all pencil backgrounds when it's something so large. When it's something small like in Boule de Poire, I quite enjoy it because you can do a nice gradient in a small space, but when it's so large like this, oh, I had enough. And at that point I just wanted the page to be done and do all the fun glittery details. But I added lots of fun shiny elements. I did the Pentel Dual Hybrid Dual Metallic Gold. I used gold Signo, the bronze, pink and purple and blue Signo on some of the details, and the Spectrum Noir Clear Glitter Pen on the bee's wings. Yeah, I just love how this turned out. Really happy, and it was a page that I'd been wanting to get done for such a long time, ever since I first saw her colour along, which I think was a year ago now. So it was great that this book was randomised and it gave me the excuse to get it done finally. That is Die Welt unter der Lupe Zulander by Rita Berman. Then I have Romantic Country, the third tale, another one of the later ones that I did in August. And this was a buddy colour with KP at Colouring KP. Oh, I forgot to say, the Boule de Poire page was also a buddy colour. I got so distracted by how cute the page was. I forgot to say, this was also a buddy colour with Desiree Bryant and Colleen's Crafty Corner on Instagram. So thank you to both of you for inspiring me to get this page done. But yeah, almost forgot that. Back to this one, and it was a buddy colour with KP. And we did the Ben's Fruit Boat page. And once again, I loved colouring all these fruit. I love colouring fruit and veg and food. I just find it so fun. It allows for lots of bright colours. And I went for a bit of a different colour scheme, this kind of light orange, blue and cream colour. But I really enjoy how it all looks together. For this, I used my Albrecht Dürer pencils, and they work really well on this paper, both wet and dry. You can see there's not even a crinkle to the page. It handled the water that well, which I do love the pages when they have a little bit of a crinkle. And no warping now that the book has been lead flat for a while. So yeah, really happy with how that one turned out. I especially love the honeydew melon. Usually I would do melons like watermelon, but I decided let's go honeydew, and it turned out really nicely using a bunch of different pencils to create that kind of light green and peachy melon colour. So yeah, love how that one turned out. That was in Romantic Country, the third tale by Erie. Then I have just a little bit of a cheat here with the Colouring Heaven Presents Summer edition. And this is a little bit of a cheat because I didn't actually colour it in summer. It should have been in my pile of things that I didn't colour. But I did get a page done, and it was at the start of September. I did this the 3rd of September, so it's a bit of a sneak peek for my September completed pages. And I just couldn't put this book back on my shelf for another year without colouring a page in it. And it took one evening. It was really fun. I based it with alcohol markers for the entire page and shaded over the top with Prismacolor pencils. Went for a nice bright bold blue, tealy bluey green background. Really went in for the dark pinks and a poppy yellow for that nice summery palette. The golden retriever turned out super cute. And yeah, I'm really happy with this page and glad that I got a page coloured in this book, because I didn't manage to get one finished in the spring Colouring Heaven, so it was good to get one done in the summer one for this year. So that is the Colouring Heaven Presents Summer, and that was a page by Lenka Filanenka. Next I've got Moon Valley by Maria Troll. I did Maria Troll as my focus artist for the month of July, So I did manage to get a page coloured in all but one of her books. And I did one in this one. And this was a buddy colour with Adela at Winter Spark Creative. We did this really pretty hummingbird wreath. I remember this taking me not very long at all to colour, and I liked the limited palette. I knew I wanted to go for a nice simple pink and green palette. And I've got the colours saved here to copy across to the other page so they can be matching. But I used the Polychromos pencils for this. The only thing I would change is I wish I did this fairy's dress pink. I just think it would have looked cuter, but I was trying to do something different. Thought have her with a green top underneath her dungarees, and then have her with green to kind of match, gives you a kind of triangle with the hummingbird. But I think she stands out a bit too much, but I don't hate it, but yeah, I just wish she was pink. But that's okay. So thank you to Adela for encouraging me to colour in this book, Moon Valley by Maria Troll. Next I've got A Million Kittens, and this was a page I coloured by myself, and the page I did is easy to flip through because it's the front cover. And I coloured this on holiday when I went away with Zoe in June, and I loved replicating the colour palette from the front. I based it with Tombow dual brush pens and a couple of Crayola super tips, and then did some shading over the top with Artex pencils and added lots of gold gel pen to match the gold foiling on the cover. And it turned out so fun. And I said after I did this I want to do a title page in these Lulu Mayo books, one a month, and I haven't done another one since. But they're still all there available to me, and yeah, I think it turned out really cute. I just love the colour scheme of this cover, it's one of my favourites. So I got that one done in A Million Kittens by Lulu Mayo. Next I've got Nature Mandalas by Melpomene Chatsapanagiotu, and I lied at the start, I did get 2 pages done in here. So that's 26 different pages, and not including the double page spreads. The first one I did was this one, and both of the pages in here were whips that I completed for this year, long-term whips. I think I started this at the start of last year in 2024. I think someone was doing it as a buddy colour, like a group buddy colour hashtag on Instagram. I coloured the inside of all of these little diamond sections of the animals and hadn't done anything else. So all the leaves, the background, this central bit, and all the gold I did in August. And I really enjoyed colouring these leaves. It did take a long time, there's a lot of leaves. You don't quite realise how many leaves there are. And I tried to make them slight variations and shades of colour, like some are lighter, some are darker sort of thing. And yeah, I used Polychromos to finish this page because I know I used them for this, and oh, they work so well on this paper. This paper's really smooth, and I think Polychromos work really nicely on smooth paper. And then I finished it off with the Winsor & Newton gold ink for going around all the outlines there. I thought change it up from my usual gold Signo, although I did use a bit around the suns to get rid of the black lines because I thought they looked a bit harsh. So I used a bit of gold Signo there because I thought the ink would have been too hard to go around these smaller shapes. But yeah, I think this turned out really fun and summery. And then as I was in this book, I thought it would be rude not to complete this long-term whip. I did say for a while that I could just abandon this forever and not feel guilty about it, because I'd coloured all of the feathers, I'd coloured the background with a silver pencil, that was using Brute Venus, and all I had left was this central kind of like Celtic knot situation in the middle here, and all the birds around the outside. And I just got a few grey pencils out from my Polychromos and coloured those in, and then this was finally a page that was completed. So it was great to get 2 completed in this book, and now I feel like I can come back to this book at a different time and colour a brand new page without feeling guilty about leaving some whips behind. So that is Nature Mandalas by Melpomene Chatsapanagiotu. Continuing on from the Maria Troll month, I did Shooting Star by Maria Troll, and this was a buddy colour with Karu at My Starseed. we did something a little bit different in this book, where we didn't buddy colour with the same page, but we did it for the same double page spread. So I did this side and Karu did that side. And it was really nice to see them like side by side together and how different our colour palettes turned out. But this was another super quick and easy page. This month really sort of like reinvigorated my love for Maria Troll. I've always loved Maria Troll, but having her as a focus artist that month made me realise how quick and easy her pages are to complete. I mean, some of them are like full pages, but a lot of them are kind of smaller contained ones, which really don't take too much time to colour once you've figured out a colour palette. A lot of elements are repeating, but not too repetitive that it gets boring. It's a really nice balance. So I loved colouring this page with the oranges and lemons. I used the Black Widow pencils for this page, and they turned out really nicely. This was an all pencil background, which wasn't too bad. Managed to get quite a nice smooth layer of colour. It kind of looks like all one shade in camera, but in real life it does fade into a slightly lighter colour towards the centre. I've got them all saved here so I can copy the colours across to this page. Maybe I could do it this time next year, or the same time next year, because I did this in July, and have it sort of a year's difference next to each other. Could be fun. Yeah, it was great to get another page done in Shooting Star by Maria Troll. Then I have Small Victories by Johanna Basford, and this was a buddy colour with Mika at Mikashi Colours, and we decided to do the Lighthouse Bottle page, and this reinvigorated my love for this book again, because I've only coloured 3 pages. I've done the rainbow pencils here, got a whip started there, and I've done the trucks and butterfly at the front here, and I enjoyed colouring them, but I didn't feel motivated to colour in this book very much. And then I saw someone do a completed book flip through of this book, and they said they used a limited set of pencils, and it really inspired me. So I've decided from this point onwards to use the Staedtler Design Journey pencils. I've got a 72 set of them, which for me 72 is a limited set of pencils, and to try and use lots of different colour cube cards. So minus the green, this was the colour cube palette number 308. I added the green for the seaweed, because even though I say challenge yourself, I still had to do something the normal colour. But I really love how it turned out, and I managed to get quite a nice smooth layer of colour for the background there, which did take quite a while with the Design Journey pencils, as they quite a hard pencil to blend. But I've got all my colours saved here, so I can bring them across to the boats here. I'll probably do something similar where I take a picture, put it on Procreate, and then map out the colours so it looks nice and cohesive. But yeah, it was great to get back to this book, Small Victories by Johanna Basford. Okay, next I've got the Laura Mia colouring book by Eerie, and this was a previously untouched book before this colouring season, and this was a buddy colour with my lovely friend Catherine at Cath Colours Pages. And the page we did was one right at the back, this kind of fun wreath page, and I loved colouring this. I used Inktense to base the page and then did some shading over the top with the Polychromos pencils. And the Inktense worked beautifully in this book. Again, like not even a crinkle. The Eerie paper does work pretty well for water-based mediums, as long as you're controlled with your water, like don't go crazy. But yeah, I really love how this turned out. I like the nice dark pink and a kind of orangey Albany hair, something a little bit different. I was inspired, was it by the cover? The back cover. I was inspired by the colour palette here. As you can see, I did pretty much the same. I just made her bow pink instead of blue. But these kind of lupin flowers, I always tend to colour purple regardless. But yeah, I love how it turned out, and I've got my colours for what I used on this page saved here, and especially these two, which are for the girl herself, so I can keep her colour palette somewhat consistent throughout the book, because she is a character that pops up here and there. There she is, and there she is. Yeah, lovely to get my first page coloured in the Laura Mia colouring book by Erie. Then I've got Matchstick Mouse, a floral colouring book by Morgan O'Brien, and this was a book I coloured in because of a little group that Zoe and I started. That's Zoe at Zoe's Cozy Colouring. We were chatting one night and said we've really neglected our Matchstick Mouse books, and decided to set a project for ourselves where we would colour in two Matchstick Mouse books that fit the seasons. So we started in August with the Floral and Summer colouring book, where we picked 2 pages, one from each of those. And we've continued it for the autumn season, so we've picked a page from the autumn colouring book and the rainy day colouring book. So it's going to be great to see those fill up with a little bit more colour. But we did pick one from the floral colouring book. We did the owl and the sunflowers page. I based it with Oohoo alcohol markers and shaded over the top with Black Widow pencils, I believe. I believe that's my pencil of choice in this book. Yep. The way I colour the Matchstick Mouse books is that in each book it's the same set of pencils, but they change between books, and like the colour palette for Matchstick Mouse slightly changes as well to have variety between the different books but keep the books themselves cohesive. So I used Black Widows for this page and added a few white dots in the background because I thought my marker looked a bit streaky and added a bit of interest. And I've just remembered I did another one as well. Another long-term whip that I finally finished. It was a page I absolutely hated. As you can see from the back here, this was what it started off like with this funky colour palette. I was trying to challenge myself to use a colour cube card and I just hated it and abandoned it for ages, and finally returned to it and did the pencil shading and kind of saved it, kind of not. I mean, the colour palette wasn't really going to change, but I added some depth of pencil shading, tried to blend this dark purple and fuchsia pink together as best I could with pencils. It was never going to be good though. But yeah, another book that I got 2 pages done, so I forgot about that. So that's 27 different pages out of the 25 books. So yeah, really happy with that. I got this one done, not so happy with the results, but it was great to get 2 more pages done in Matchstick Mouse floral colouring book by Morgan O'Brien. Then I have the Alice in Wonderland special by Colouring Heaven. This is illustrations by Eva Nikunen. And this was a buddy colour with Christine at St. Colours. The other page I've coloured in this book was also a buddy colour with her. But we did the carousel page. And this also went for my 25 prompts for 2025 challenge that I did at the start of the year. It was really fun to make that video, and I kind of have abandoned it slightly, but this was a page that fit the page inspired by childhood. And I thought, what doesn't remind you of childhood but a carousel horse? I remember going to places and seeing a nice carousel and going, please can we go on it? Sometimes one would be like, yes, if you're good. Yeah, based this with alcohol markers and shaded over the top with the Artex pencils, I believe. I was inspired by an image I found online of this carousel horse with the blue mane and the pinks and golds and purples. So really enjoyed colouring that one. That's great to get another one done in here, the Alice in Wonderland special by Eva Nikunen. Then I got a page done in the giant Disney Vitro book that never fits in camera. You can see the top of it and then down to the bottom there. It's huge. It hangs off my desk when even having it here to colour. But the page I did was, where is it? I think it's near the front. Here it is. It was Hercules and Pegasus, and this was for the Disney group buddy colour I'm in, where we pick a Disney and a Pixar movie each month, and for July the Disney movie was Hercules, so I got this one done. Love how it turned out. I think I coloured all of Hercules in the time it took me to watch Hercules, and I may have started Pegasus, and then I wasn't sure what colours to do for the background and decided to go for this fun orange, blue, yellow colour scheme, which was inspired by a Disney colour by number that I just completed. and I used a bit of the bronze Signo around the edge, gives it a bit of a shine, nice kind of coppery effect. Yeah, great to get back to this book because there are so many pages in here, and that makes it my third one completed. Ta-da! So yeah, great to get another page done in Disney Vitro by, well, who is it by actually? By Jean-Luc Guérin. Right, then this final stack of books were the 10 I randomised at the end of the video because they were all previously untouched. So these are all my first pages done in the books. First up we got Leon's Journey by Kanoko Agusa, and I decided to do the character profile page first, and oh, I love it. I love Leon, I love Lily, and I love them all. I was going to say I love Latte and I love Mocha. But yeah, I had a lot of fun picking out the colour schemes for these characters. Tried to make them look cohesive as a set here. Wasn't sure what to do for the little banners, and then Zoe suggested doing it like an old paper scroll. And I thought that works perfectly, and then I can do a bit of gold Signo for the names to add a bit of shine there. I use polychromos for this page. They don't work the best on this paper, but I push through because I like them so much anyway. I just like the colours and the slightly more muted range that they have, which I think suits Kanoko's art style well. But yeah, I've got the colours saved so I can bring them forward to all the other pages featuring the characters throughout the book and have them look nice and cohesive. But this book also got randomised for the autumn season, so I'm hoping to get another page done. I'm looking at you, Leon sleeping on a pile of pumpkins. But yeah, that is the page I did from Leon's Journey by Kanoko Agusa. And I have the Colouring Heaven Pocket Sleeping Animals by R.J. Hampson. And again, another book that I did 2 pages in, and I forgot until getting this book out. This wasn't the first one I'd done, but I did these 2 otters having a snooze in the river. It's called Otterly Exhausted. And I decided for this book I'm just going to keep it simple, the alcohol markers, minimal shading, kind of similar to how I colour my Camila Angel Cova books, and have the backgrounds be this kind of organic shape matching the outline of the image, kind of almost like a sticker effect in a way. I've seen people do it on Instagram and thought it was a fun way to do a background in these books. So I did that one, and I've also done, this was the first one I did, Bamboo Baby. Yeah, really nice simple colour scheme, and it was great to get 2 pages done in this book, and they are so quick and easy to do. I think it probably took me 20-30 minutes to colour. So yeah, if I just feel like doing something quick and easy, I can pull this book out, and now it is no longer untouched. So that's the Sleeping Animals Pocket Edition by R.J. Hampson. Then I've got Mythographic Crystal Kingdom by Weronika Kalinska. Again, my first page done in this book, and I had this started as a whip before it got randomised, and I believe all I had done was base the birds, the leaves and the gold sections, and I hadn't worked out what I wanted to do for the crystals yet. And I think how I decided what colour to go for was I put a picture of what I'd already coloured on ChatGPT and asked for suggestions, and it came up with this, I think it was dark teal, light teal and like a purple, and I just really liked the teal colour. I thought it was really pretty, and I could put it into these glass elements on the roofs of the little building things that they've got going on here. Yeah, I like how simple it was, and the nice dark blue background to contrast, make everything pop. Yeah, it was great to get this page done because I was feeling very inspired by it when I first got the book, started the page, then never finished it. I did a little bit of gold metallic paint on the little beads between their beaks. Yeah, I used alcohol markers to base absolutely everything, and then shaded over the top with polychromos pencils. So that one was a lovely page to get done from Mythographic Crystal Kingdom by Weronika Kalinska. And the next 3 books I have here are all books that I coloured on a live stream with you all. because I did start doing live streams during the summer and I'm still going strong with them. Really enjoyed doing them and interacting with you all. First we've got the Desert Fox Mysterious Journey colouring book by Sugumi, and the page we coloured on stream was this one. Oh, and here's Lexi. You could just see her paws in camera. Hello, Lexi. She has come to join us. Are you going to sit on my lap? You're going to sit on my lap? Which is fitting because she did join me in a few of my live streams that I've been doing recently. But yeah, I really love how bright and colourful this page turned out. I used Artex for the whole page and tried my best to replicate the colours on this page over to this one. And I think I did a pretty good job. Mine's definitely brighter, but I'm absolutely a-okay with that. I think I kind of prefer the brighter look of the river compared to this one anyway. But yeah, I really enjoyed getting one done in here, and made me realise that these pages aren't quite so scary to colour, because you see them and then a full page of colour and it's quite daunting, but you break it down section by section. Like I started with the pineapples, did all the pineapples, and did the leaves, did the grass, and then did the background of the wall, and it just, breaking it down into those chunks made it a lot more manageable. Like with this one, you could start with the bus stop, then do the characters, and then do this background, and then try and work out if you're going to attempt to do these reflections or not. But yeah, really started my love for this book, and glad that it is no longer untouched. So that is the Mysterious Journey colouring book by Sugumi. Then I've got Colours Make You Happy Volume 2 by Miki Takai. This is a book I've had for a long time in my collection. And finally, I've coloured my first page, and it was this lovely Wizard of Oz page. Again, loved colouring this. Was this the first one I coloured on stream? It might have been 8th of August. I'm trying to think, did I colour anything else before this? I don't know. But this was one of the first, and I used Black Widows for the whole page. I used some of the Languid gel pens to give this grass texture in the fields, the Spectrum Noir Clear Glitter pen on the Emerald City, and on the ruby slippers down there. Yeah, it turned out really nice and bright and colourful. Yeah, really happy with how this turned out. And great to finally get a page done in here. It's full of these really cute fairy tales. And I've got my eye on Geordie Colours, Colour the Fairy Tales hashtag, to try and colour a few more in here, because I know there's some which she has covered. Like I know she's done The Little Mermaid, she's done Red Riding Hood, I think. Has she done Snow White? I'm not sure. I know she hasn't done Rapunzel or Cinderella, so I'm kind of waiting on those. Maybe she might have done Cinderella, I'm not sure. There's so many fairy tales out there, so it's exciting to follow along with that. But that is Colours Make You Happy Volume 2 by Miki Takai. Then this was the very last page I coloured in summer, and it was in the Greek mythology colouring book by Yoshimi Sekiguchi. This was a fairly new release this year. I think it was March or April. And I really love the art style of this book. And the page I coloured was this one of Apollo and Daphne. And this I coloured as a buddy colour with Yolanda and Steve at the colouring commander. Yolanda is colouring by Kamama. We did this not in just this book, but we did it as a pencil buddy colour, so we used only the Castle Art Harmonious pencil set on this page. And it was interesting to use not my favourite pencils on this paper, but it was great to test out a bunch of the colours. And I like the muted effect of this page. I think it works really well. The only exception was a bit of gold metallic paint for the sun behind Apollo's head. I just thought it needed to have a bit of interest, and there was absolutely zero yellows in the Harmonious pencil set, so I thought let's add some gold in and cheat a little bit. So yeah, it was great to get that one done in the Greek mythology colouring book by Yoshimi Sekiguchi. Then I've got Nelko Neko's Story of Precious Cats by Nelko Neko. And the page This was the first page I coloured on stream, just suddenly came to me. It was this one of the sunflowers and them having a little fun in the wash bath. I loved colouring this page on stream with you all, and it does hold a special memory in my heart that this was the very first one I coloured on stream. I used the Albrecht Dürer pencils for this, and it was one of the first pages I'd used the Albrecht Dürer pencils on, and again they worked really well in this paper. No crinkling, no warping of the paper anymore now that it's been sat flat for a while. And I used polychromos to shade on top and to colour all of the cats here. I used a bit of the clear glaze pen on their eyes so they're shiny. Love that effect. And I have now joined a group where we colour a page every 2 months in here. I haven't coloured any so far as part of that group, but I do have the Halloween page that I really want to get to. In fact, I need to start it soon so that I don't neglect it. But I think this book will do well with being based with Albrecht Dürers or Inktense and then doing a bit of pencil shading over the top. I did also start a page, so I started this character profile page, and as you can see I just did the fur of all of them. So I've got all of those colour combinations noted down on a piece of paper here, and I just need to come back and do all of their outfits. And then probably a bit of gold signo, knowing me, around the kind of filigree details around the page. But yeah, that was one that I started but didn't quite finish. Mainly because I have no idea what colour outfits to give them. But that's just something I struggle with. I struggle with clothing and making them look interesting and not just boring. I did pastel colours. I tend to go towards pastel colours when doing clothing. I like how his outfit turned out. I think he looks really cute. But yeah, I tend to go pinks and blues and never anything more exciting than that. But I love this red colour of the dress on the front there. But that's Nelko Neko's Story of Precious Cats colouring book. Then I've got my first coloured page in Escape to Wonderland. And the page we did was a buddy colour with Kath at Kath Colours pages. And we initially just planned to do the turtle, and I used Black Widow pencils for this. And as I was colouring the outside of the turtle, I thought, let's colour this one here, and then let's colour the waves, and then I might as well finish the can. And then it was a page done, so it turned out to be a double buddy colour for a nice matching spread for us both. I had a lot of fun picking out a fun under the sea bright coral themed palette for all of the little details. There are so many little spindly details on this turtle shell, but it turned out really fun, and I really do like how it turned out. So these are the pages I did for summer. I do also have another double page that I did. This was in September though, so another sneak peek for you, but I thought I'd share it with you anyway as I had the book out. And this was a buddy colour with Nikki at Nikki Jane. She was the person who gifted me this book, and I'm very thankful for her, and we did a buddy colour to sort of celebrate that. So you will see more details about that in my upcoming completed pages video for September. So that is Escape to Wonderland by Good Wives and Warriors. Then we have the Midsummer Relaxation Colouring Book by Jeon Seon Jin. And when I first flagged pages, I thought I was going to colour this one. But I just coloured the Nelko Neko sunflower page, and I wasn't feeling like doing another bunch of sunflowers again. So I was flipping through the book, and a certain page caught my eye, and it was this one. And I don't know why it caught my eye. I think I was feeling like doing oranges, and that's why. I think I'd just done the orange colour combos for Black Widows by Karen at My Colourful Country Life. I'd just done my spread for the orange combos. And so I was feeling particularly inspired to colour some orange things, so I picked this one. Used Black Widows for the pencil shading and some Languo gel pens to outline the clouds and do some details on the hedgehogs here. Yeah, I really love how this turned out. Nice and bright and colourful. And again, great to get my first page coloured in this book. The Midsummer Relaxation Colouring Book by Jeon Seon Jin. Second to last book, we've got Mythographic Fantasy Forest by Fabiana Attanasio. This was a buddy colour with Chrissy at Chrissy Wilcox, and we did this Tree Man page. I don't know why I've saved these colours. I think just in case I want to use the colour palette again, but they're there. And oh, I had a lot of fun with this page, playing with the lighting effects and really going for that glowy look from the fairy. I wanted her to be emitting this like yellow glow coming out from her. Went very different for me and gave her a green skin tone, which complemented beautifully with the pink. Added some metallic watercolour on top and some of the opal colours on, which is like an iridescent pink on the wings. I based it all with alcohol markers and shaded over the top with polychromos, and went for a nice limited pink, green, brown colour palette with that warm yellow glow going around the page. I'm so happy to get my first page done in here. It was great to have a buddy to inspire me. So that was Mythographic Fantasy Forest by Fabiana Attanasio. And the final book I have to share with you is Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen, and this was a buddy colour with Zed at Zed Colours. And we did the title page, Flora. And I was really intimidated to do this page. I think because we have that image of the title page, and I didn't want to do the same. I wanted to do my own thing. And I was looking at her and going, I think she needs pink hair. So that's what I started with, this nice bright pink hair. Then I brought in similar pink tones with the lotus flower down here, brought in some lighter pinks so she would really stand out. Did her skin, and that was all okay. And then thought, what colours should I do the flowers? Let's go for my classic, pink, purple and blue. And I really love how it turned out, really nice and soft and effective. And I really especially love how these lily flowers turned out with the nice dark pink stripe down the centre and some white dots. They turned out nice. Wasn't so much a fan of the background. I wanted it to look like there was a glow on the background, like there is a glow down here, but with the grayscale it just looks a bit muddy. Would have looked better with a slightly darker colour or a more, yeah, just the yellow wasn't quite the right vibe, but yeah. Really happy to get my first one done in here, and I cannot wait to do some more. There are some lovely autumnal pages in here. I'm very excited to get my hands on the 2 new books. Look at that one. I love that one for autumn. Very excited to get my hands on the 2 new books, although for some reason they have been really slacking with the UK publishing for Christine Karen's new books. Wondrous Folk has literally only just been released, or is releasing in the next couple of days. And Little Folk isn't being released till January. Why? That's the one I'm most excited for as well. I think that one looks really cute, and there's some lovely autumnal pages in there that I'd love to get coloured this season, but seems like I won't be able to get my hands on it unless it becomes available on Blackwell's earlier or something like that, but alas, it isn't. But anyway, there we go. Those are all the pages I did as part of my summer randomizer video that I did at the start of last season. So it'll be interesting to reevaluate how well my autumn randomizer went. I'm really happy that I got 25 out of the 30 books coloured, and even 3 of them I got pages started on or worked on. Only one was completely not worked in because I have worked in one of them since, so it was a really successful video for me, and I thought it'd be interesting for you guys because I know a lot of people see these randomizers from me and go, wow, that's a lot. Are you going to get that done? Shows that I kind of can. Like, it is a lot, but if I break it down over the 3 months, it becomes more manageable, and having buddy colours to inspire me is definitely helpful. So thank you to everyone who reached out to do buddy colours from my summer randomizer. I'm looking forward to all of the ones for my autumn randomizer that I'm still working on at the moment. But let me know in the comments below, out of all the pages I did in this video, which was your favourite that I coloured. Mine's probably, the one that sticks out to me is the double page spread from Die Welt unter der Lupe Zoolande. I just love how it turned out. I'm really proud of it. But yeah, let me know your favourite in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.